This is the plaintiff, Adrian Penna. She says she purchased a bird from the defendant. The woman placed it in a box with some fruit for the ride home, and when she opened the box, the bird was missing. She searched her car for 2 hours, came to realize the woman pretended to put the bird in the box, and then she was scammed. There was never a bird in the box to begin with. The defendant thinks she can pull a fast one on her, but she's here to show her she can't and is suing for the $375 she gave her. This is the defendant, Hiromi. She says all of her bird's wings are clipped so they can't fly. All she knows is that she boxed up a bird the plaintiff purchased, and somehow, some way, the plaintiff lost the bird, and she's trying to place the blame on her. Bottom line, the plaintiff saw her put the bird in the box, and she has no idea what happened to it. She's accused of being a bird brain.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Adrian Penna?
Yes.
You are suing Hiromi. You've asked us not to use your last name or your company's name for $375, the amount that you paid for a conure, is that the word?
Exactly.
Parrot, that according to you did not receive. Okay, talk to me, ladies. Tell me what happened.
Okay, well, I had never considered a bird as a pet. I had babysat or bird sat for a friend of mine who has a conure, and I got very attached to her. She's a very sweet and intelligent bird, and I decided in December that I was going to buy a conure. I looked on eBay classifieds, and I found an ad for hand-fed conures, babies.
All right, does anybody have a
$375.
picture of either this bird or a similar bird so I can see what kind of bird we're talking about? Okay, well, that'll do nicely. All right.
This is the bird that she got.
Okay. A bird of that.
Wow, that's a pretty bird. Can you show me with your hands how big the bird is? Because nothing in the picture is going to let me.
About
That's
this
pretty
big, and not including the tail.
Okay. How long do they live?
20 plus years.
How many?
20 plus years.
Wow,
25.
that's a pretty big investment. Like, you better like your bird, right?
Sure.
Like, I mean, most people don't even have to keep their kids around that long, you know? Okay, what is that all over your shirt? Bird poop?
Bird food, the formula.
Are you
that
kidding
I feed
me?
them with, yes.
Why? Because you had 4 or 5 birds on you at the same time?
Yes, like right after the feeding, and then on the beaks they still had the formula, so they're all over me. So they kind of clean their beaks on my shirt.
Oh, so it's not bird poop? It's just
No, it's formula. Yes.
Okay, and what happened?
I arrived at her apartment and I saw this bird, beautiful bird, very unusually colored for her particular breed. And, you know, she sat on my shoulder, she sat on my hand, she was nibbling my earrings, nibbling my shirt collar. I was just so overjoyed and excited because I had waited since December when I first contracted the defendant to get a bird. So she took the bird, she cut up some strawberries and oranges to put in the box with the bird so the bird wouldn't get dehydrated on the way home. I saw her put the bird in the box. She took the box into the bedroom to get a rubber band to put around the box, and she brought it back, put it very gingerly into a shopping bag, and then gave it to me. And she said, you know, send pictures. And I left. I went to my car, which was a block away. I put the bag with the box into the front passenger seat floor, drove home, talking to the box the whole time. And when I got home, I got up to my apartment. I took out the box out of the bag, took off the rubber band, which was still intact, opened the box, and there was no bird. So I called her in a panic. I said, the bird's not in here. And she said, well, maybe it escaped into your car. Did you drive with the windows open? So I said, no, I didn't drive with the windows open. It was a warm day. I had the air conditioning on, but her wings were clipped. How could she have gotten out of the box? And she said, it's impossible. She couldn't have gotten far. Maybe she's hiding in your car. I went back to the car. I sat in the car for almost 2 hours, not a peep. literally. And so I just went back to my apartment. I was so upset because I thought maybe by some chance the bird had gotten out of the box. And my neighborhood is full of cats and stray cats. And I was just like devastated because I thought, oh my God, this little poor defenseless baby bird.
Why are you having all those thoughts if your testimony a second ago was that the rubber band was intact?
Plaintiff bought a bird from the defendant. She got it in a box, and when the box got home, the bird was gone. And the plaintiff thinks it's a scam. Let's listen.
I couldn't believe that the bird hadn't been in the box. I absolutely couldn't believe it.
Maybe you're not so sure that rubber band was intact?
Oh, no. I was sure the rubber band was intact. I have the rubber band here.
Do you have the box?
I have the box. And
Just hand the whole bag over to my bailiff.
Sure.
Go on.
So I was on the phone with my friend, and he said, it's impossible that a bird gets out of the box.
Go on.
So that was it. I texted her a couple of times. I said, I'm devastated. This is the worst day of my life. I can't imagine where this bird is. And I didn't get a response from her. And then my friend called her and said, he was saying, what happened to the bird? You didn't put the bird in the box. Obviously you did a bait and switch. And now you're claiming that she's got
switch in this. This would just be
whatever. Switch a full box for an empty box.
The only theory that you could possibly sue on is that she took the bird out on purpose to keep it and then gave you an empty box.
That's what my feeling is, because it was so unusually colored, and she was a female, and breeders keep females to breed other birds.
Okay. Talk to me.
She came to my house 3:15, and she sat at the table in my living room, and she interacted with the bird. And so she had questions for me, and I answered them. The whole transaction, the whole thing, entire thing happened in my living room. And I did not go back to my bedroom to get a rubber band. The rubber band was in the kitchen. And I put the bird in the box in front of her and packed her up and put it.
When did you get the rubber band?
When she was ready to go. Because
okay, so was the bird already in the box?
No. Because if I did not have the rubber band, then of course the bird would try to get out. So I had the rubber band ready.
Because otherwise the bird would be in here with this like this.
Yes.
And then you're going to another room to get a rubber band.
Right.
Okay, so go on.
Right. So she left with the bird in the box, and after an hour later, she called me in panic. And she told me that she doesn't have the bird in the box. She doesn't see a bird in the box. So I didn't know what to say. I mean, I was lost for words. To me, it didn't make any sense. So I said, what do you mean the bird is not in the box? Then she says, she's not in there. And she was freaking out. I said, well, it's almost impossible that a bird can get out of that box and out of the shopping bag. And even if she did, when I asked her where she had the shopping bag, then she said on the passenger seat. So I said, there's no way that a bird get out of the box and the shopping bag without you ever noticing anything. You would hear, because they're a very noisy bird, always chirping, scratching inside of the box, trying to get out. So if she had the bird, the box in the bag on the passenger seat and driving with the closing, with the car windows closed, then there's no way she didn't notice anything.
All right, and when is it that she calls, or then her friend calls, and what does her friend say to you?
He said, how irresponsible of you to put a bird in a box like that. And I said, well, that's a box that I use for all my clients. Then he said, there's no way that a bird can get out of the box. So I said, there's no way that the bird can get out of the box. Then he said, and how can a bird get out of that shopping bag on top of it? So I said, there's no way that a bird can get out of that shopping bag.
Right, you're agreeing with him.
Yes.
Right.
Then he raised his voice and he said, well, I don't think the bird was in the box in the first place. So I said, you gotta be kidding, this is ridiculous. I put the bird in the box in front of her. Then he said, well, how do you rectify this? So I said, there's nothing to rectify. Then he says, okay, then we'll call the police. and you'll be hearing from my attorney, and your reputation is shut. So I said, okay, do what you gotta do.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do you believe that this bird was in the box when the plaintiff got it?
Yes.
Why? I mean, is it possible that the defendant pulled a switcheroo, the bird was never in the box?
No, because when you get the box, you should feel some weight in it. Or
Wouldn't you feel some movement or something?
Of course you'd feel some movement. It's pretty obvious that if you get a box, that something will probably be shaking in there.
I'm going to you because I just love your hair.
You would definitely know that there's something in the box. I mean, it's going to be heavier. It's gonna be moving around.
Something's going to happen.
It's an animal.
If it's not moving around, there's a problem, right?
Exactly.
Then you would look in the box.
Right.
Going inside the courtroom.
In your research, did you ever find any other complaints against her as a breeder?
No.
Okay, and you've been doing this for how many years?
I started in 2010. So
And any of your clients ever tell you the bird got out of the box?
no,
Where's the bird, folks?
that's my concern.
Honest to God, where is the bird?
I
Where's the bird?
would love to tell you
Because
she's
only
safe
one
at
of two
home.
things is possible.
Okay.
You're a liar or you're a liar. A lot of my cases, like, well, it's something in between. There's no in between. Either you didn't put the bird in the box, or you put the bird in the box and then took the bird out of the box when you had the box in a different room. Or you're a liar and she never left the room, put the bird right in front of you, and then you opened the box to coochie-coo the bird or something and the bird got loose and you don't want to eat the money. Both of those seem so far-fetched.
I know.
They both do, but
I
not just
know. I
like
know,
yours. To suggest
both.
that you would go through a lawsuit when you knew that it was your fault the bird is silly. And to suggest that somebody makes a living off of selling birds would go hey, 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 and take the bird is also silly.
Right.
They're both silly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't stay in business very long if you take a bird out of a box that you just put a bird. I mean, it's, I don't know what happened to the bird. I mean, she doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to steal the bird from you. She wants you to be happy and send her pictures. It's a mystery.
It is a
complete
mystery. And
right, but so long as
further-
but here's the thing. I'm not going to end up giving you closure that you want. Because I don't know what happened to the bird. I don't know what happened to the bird. And I have to know what happened the way you're accusing her of for you to win. And because I don't, then by default, when a plaintiff can't prove their case, the verdict goes for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
And so because the plaintiff cannot prove that the defendant knows the whereabouts of the bird, you lose your case.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Where do you think the bird is?
I hope she still got the bird because that means the bird is not escaped and in danger, and that was my biggest concern.
Well, do you believe her now that she doesn't have it?
No,
You don't believe her. All right. Are you going to get another bird?
I'm picking her up Saturday.
Okay, good. All right, right down this way. All right, so come on in here and what do you think of all this?
It's also so unfortunate that she accused me of giving her an empty box, which is not, that's not how I treat my clients.
What do
Why
you
would I
think
can-
happened to the bird?
What I think happened was that probably she couldn't wait until she get home and open the box, and then the bird got out. And even though she said that her car windows were closed, probably they were open and she blew out of the car or something like that.
Harvey?
Okay, the bottom line here is that the plaintiff has the burden of proof, so if it's even Steven 50-50 and you can't figure out which way it tips, the plaintiff loses. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.